Sorry.
No, you're fine.
This is a class. Loving the plaza walls. They got a keyhole. Just so that you can kind of see some of the stuff. This is Denise Long. Recognize her there. She has stuff all over the place. She actually has she is a local Oklahoma gallery painter, but she's been doing a lot of public art in the last year or so. And so I just wanted to show, but like I said, she has a gallery in Paseo called Little D. And then I think she's also she is part of JRD Gallery in Paseo. Anyway, and I think she did some walls downtown over, downtown Oklahoma City. But she is one of those artists. And then I don't know who this is. This is Judy is.
Her actual name is Casey Stover.
All right, good deal.
Got you.
Did you? Yeah, well, we want to make sure since we're documenting this. We want to make sure.
I like it.
But I love what I want you guys to pay attention to though is I know when we think murals, we're thinking these, maybe we're thinking. Let's take this off. This is JB. I recognize this one. I'm not JB. J Farrell. And then there's more going on. They do a festival every year, or at least they have. I don't think they were able, of course, with the pandemic and the situation with that, which still, with the pandemic and all, we probably were not able to do the festivals like they have. But I've been here when they've had those festivals. Has anybody ever been down to Plaza Arts Festival? It's been around for, it's quite an event. They used to do, I assume, they still do. Just like Paseo has First Friday, they were Second Friday. They did Second Friday. And so it gets pretty intense and tight around here. And then there'd be DJs and people here. I mean, it was truly a festival event. And that's sometimes just on Friday, very impromptu. Whereas during the Plaza Festival, it's a little bit more anchored. To do these walls, you probably have to talk to the, there it is, Plaza Wall Gallery. We don't have to. I may reach out to them later on. But as you can see, you don't necessarily, I think artists are picked, they're curated in, or they apply to be a part of this. So there's that. Erin Merriweather, that's who we were talking to over at DNA Gallery. She was saying that, a lot of these organizations like Plaza Walls, and then there's the With Love, and then there's the Muriel, and all these little, I shouldn't say it, I don't mean it this way, but all these different entities. Because in the last, I would say, particularly in the last 10 plus years, Oklahoma City in particular has really done a good job trying to create accessible art. This is very postmodern. That is, and murals are fun. People like murals. It is a belief that murals are easy, but they are fun. They are fun. And I just want you to see the different types of mural. Not every mural has to be this, what we see in our history, which are traditional, like the murals we might see in ancient Rome, or the murals you might see elsewhere. We see these wonderful, very highly rendered out murals. If you go down 36th Street in Western, you see, that's Amanda Bradway. She has those beautiful murals that remind me of your work, Elise. You know what I'm talking about?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, y'all drive down there. Go down to 36th and Western, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a furniture store.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
So show it to her.
Okay.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I
those
think I know
more
what you're talking
highly rendered out murals. There's all sorts. You just find these rendered murals, but this is a little bit more. Like I said, they really make it a fest. It's a big deal for someone to be invited to be doing this. So let's go on over so we can see some of these other murals. And as you can see, we paint the back of them. So anytime, there we go. Caravaggio is a Medusa. That right there. That's what we're looking at. You may have to come up. Did you have enough?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. If you don't know, this is Caravaggio. This is what is Caravaggio was a Baroque artist. And in Rome, well, it's his self-portrait as Medusa. He was an interesting birdie of a man. But anyway, this is not art history. But he was cool. He was actually an awesome artist, and I would totally. Gattaca Fields, he's one who does a lot of work around here and also in Oklahoma, in Tulsa. And I think internationally, I think he's kind of got I'm not real sure. But he does, this is his. I've seen his work more abstract, non-objective. But I also, what you want to look at is how he uses that space, and yet here we have this large window. So when you do murals, it's not just, you are limited by what the hell else is going on in that wall. These walls were not meant to be painted on.
Yeah.
When they built this building, probably 100 years ago, because this is an old building. You're in the old part of Oklahoma City. So as you're looking at murals, you have to keep in mind your space and these things like this. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is something that a mural artist who is painting, who is creating this work. Whether it's painting, there are murals that you can do also with ceramic tiles. There's all sorts of different murals. Traditionally, a mural is painting. Frescoes are when we paint in plaster. Just thought I'd throw that out there. A mural, somebody may want you to do a fresco. That's a whole other skill set. Yes, I'm sure. Did you get this right here? This machine kills fascists?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
And again, let me be on tape to say fascism is bad.
It is.
I just want people. Yeah, well, I think we may have to remind folks. Anyway, so this is what we have. This is Gattaca. And then we have another one. I have, like I said, when I've been down here, they are literally kind of working like in tandem, someone's working here next door. So I kind of love the idea. These guys are really being quite cooperative with each other. With each other's space. They're being very respectful of each other's space. I'm sure there might be some,
some fighting.
That's why. See, this is why I wore makeup, because I went, ooh, we might be taking pictures. Anyway, there might be, understanding the space that everyone's dealing with here, and all of that. But also once you look at the subject matter, I mean, if you cannot get into the humanities building, because it's gonna be tore up to the floor up. Our murals are going to be fine. The murals are on the second floor that was done by my students. But that first floor, they're gonna have to go into walls and stuff. So we're
Right.
How torn up? Somebody ripped a Jesus sticker?
right
Yeah.
there.
Yo, I got some really.
No way.
That's what's wrong with these people.
I got some really cool Trump propaganda photos.
Like, where's Waldo?
You gonna burn. All right, here's another one. Denise Dong did another one. I love the cat. Did you see the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Homer Simpson. Now, by the way,
Officer Wiggum.
I think
Oh,
this
nice.
is just random graffiti. So what's the difference between a mural and graffiti?
Murals are. I almost said sanctioned. I meant approved.
For the most part, yeah. A mural should be approved. You have people who, a lot of these guys may have started off as what we call graffiti artists, and then become quote unquote legitimized as they move along, but they want to keep that graffiti vibe.
I like the way this one is sketchy.
Well, that's kind of, it's not as, I assume that's it. This is probably what she's, I don't think she'll keep it up. Yep, she signed it and everything. That this is, kind of, like I said, approved. It has a design quality to it. Now, I'm sure there's some graffiti people who'll be like, but I'm like, here, traditionally speaking, believe it or not, graffiti's been around for thousands and hundreds of years. There's evidence of it in Rome. There's evidence of it all over the world, wherever. So it is called graffiti. There's a big difference, though, between what we call tagging and this. And you can't tell me any different. I'm just gonna stand on that. Yeah, I said what I said. That's what I said, what I said. There's a difference between tagging and this. Because you do have some artists, you do have some people who would get offended. I said, you can get offended, there's a difference. There's a difference.
How do they keep this from happening on artist artwork?
I think there is a natural respect as well. I mean, this is a space. I mean, you know, all of this. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm sure it has. I'm sure somebody has come along, and I mean, it's, you know, they have the, you know, they don't. One way to kind of give people space to do whatever they need to do is to give them these things right here. Maybe to give them the smaller spaces and let them do. Traditionally speaking, though, you know, when we see graffiti like on the billboards, which I'm always impressed. When I see them on the highway, I'm like, you really wanted to do
What
that.
did you do
You
to get up there?
That seems like a lot of planning went into that, so I'm going to give you that. Which, you know, but tagging, at least my understanding, has just been basically a symbol and your name, and I kind of don't. To me, that's just lettering. It's lettering. It's lettering. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but I you know, that's beautiful letters and all of that, but there is a difference. There is a methodical thought process, even in the work that appears to be non-objective, even the work that appears to have no subject matter. There's definitely an organizational, like even this one has organization to it. This one has organization. This does. In other words, our artist, whoever took time, figured it out, brought it together. Art is not, you know, trying to teach students. Here's the thing about art. You know, this idea, I don't know where y'all felt, this idea that I just do what I want. I just paint what I feel. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah and no. Believe it or not, there's a process. Whether you want to admit it or not. And there's thought and there's planning. I mean, yes, you're allowed to be spontaneous, but I promise you, this was not spontaneous. This person drew some stuff out, figured some things, arranged, stepped back as they were painting it to make sure they were doing what they need to be done. And depending on how long they've been doing it, what is that? You know? What are they doing over? Y'all like, Callie's like, whatever. Ooh, look at this one.
Ooh.
Ooh.